Hello there everyone and welcome to another video from me, Talon French. How have I been doing? Well, I've been doing okay actually. It's just I am now ready to expose the operations of Stagecoach in full today. So I'm actually going to tell the actual truth about why have Stagecoach become such disgusting liars in the first place. So now it is being split into 8 parts, but I'm going to read it to you now. So here we go. Part 1. How the real shenanigans have started. During the 2 years between March 2023 and March 2025, Stagecoach have provided usual updates about delays or cancellations to day-to-day bus services across the city. They also gave out reasons why services might not have run on that day. But that was all about to change, and very suddenly, without warning, 2 years later in March 2025, they were no longer providing any updates or reasons why the buses got cancelled in the first place. The reason why they stopped providing updates was because they just chose to stop doing so without any reason whatsoever, and refused to add the reasons why for the delays, cancellations, or revisions. They give no reason for this chaos. They just do it at short notice. The worst part is, when a bus is cancelled, they refuse to put on any replacement buses for the written off service. This now means that the passengers have to wait for the next service or go on the previous service to avoid any confusion or delay later on. It is a stupid situation that could easily have been prevented. The solutions are clearly there, but the managers and senior mentors just go on and do hardly anything to improve the bus service in Inverness whatsoever. Part 2. How Stagecoach operates. The managers of Stagecoach do nothing, laze around and tell the drivers to either endure harsh working conditions or lose their jobs, or even sometimes getting turned down for the position and role of the job within the workforce of Stagecoach. If you ever attempt to apply for a job in Stagecoach, you will face an unnecessarily long wait for details regarding a job interview. If you are UK born, there is a huge chance of having to fill in around 1,000 pieces of paperwork. Once the applicant gets through all that, and despite getting everything right on the exam, they get strangely told that they no longer meet the criteria. They don't give a clear or transparent enough reason. They just say it to their applicants to make them feel horrific about themselves. The rate of discrimination and getting treated unfairly from this company is extremely high if you were born in the UK. People from every other nationality, for example, Irish, American, French and German are examples, are absolutely fine and are also likely to face a lower risk of discrimination compared to their UK and Great Britain born counterparts. Nearly all the UK born applicants keep getting rejected because of their nationality, which is absolutely scary, sickening and psychologically abusive and racist why this happens. Part 3. The drivers and other workers are heavily restricted on what they can and cannot say or talk about. If they ever speak out about or be honest about their experiences and speak out against the company, instead of Stagecoach improving things, the workers are subjected to being abused and sacked immediately for ever suggesting improvements, and also their employment would be terminated. If they accidentally drop something at work, make one accidental mistake, or even suggest improvements, whether the residue has been cleaned up, or the suggestions being said which could improve the quality of the working experience, They are still suspended extremely unfairly no matter what the circumstances may be. If there are any problems on board the buses or problems with the buses themselves, aka faults, vandalism, or even severe antisocial behaviour from entitled children, even if it's severe, they still have to run services as usual or cancel them without any reason whatsoever. They don't delay the service. They basically just cancel it and force people to wait an hour for the bus. The buses are often very dirty these days, with the cleaning staff being told not to bother cleaning the buses at all, while probably being forced to be in the room where managers will not let them speak at all or get on with their jobs, and they only let the manager's side of the conversation heard, along with silencing the cleaners 100% of the duration during the conversation. Part 4. If any of the workers get injured at work, even if it is severe, they either are forced to work for the full time or face being sacked. And also, there would be a chance of having their pay cut unjustifiably and also significantly by around 80%, meaning that they only get paid 20% of their pay, of their normal pay if they get injured. And Stagecoach charge extremely overpriced fares just to confiscate money off people and passengers to add to their stockpiling stash, with the remainder of the cash sitting there being unused whatsoever. They also cite the axing of services is due to people even living in their local area at all, and that is what Stagecoach are doing. If they were, and they should have said it if they were honest. It is not due to low demand, driver shortages, or rising costs. They basically axe funds from less busy routes to fund much busier routes, which is stupid and also have no regard for those areas being left behind. There are clearly replacement services that they could put on for the affected areas being isolated by the cuts, but they still take decisions about this far too lightly and axe all services for those areas altogether. The Inverness residents and the UK-born workers who are employed at Stagecoach have been treated like they've never existed in this world in the first place. They turn down potential new drivers and to make way for lone drivers stepping in to fill in the void for the applicants being failed by Stagecoach themselves. Part 5. Management. How the management works is that freedom of speech is almost entirely 100% unacceptable across any part of the Stagecoach workforce. No improvements are being made whatsoever in terms of maintaining buses properly or improving working conditions. The allocations are extremely bad at least 90% of the time. They put single-deckers on already overcrowded services and put double or coach deckers on routes that are less likely to be too busy whatsoever. The management of Stagecoach is complete sham, and always has been since the company first started operating services across Inverness City in 2000. The managing director, David Beaton, knows absolutely nothing about Inverness. He does not even care about the city at all. The solutions are clearly there to improve working conditions for workers and passengers, but they just choose to ignore every single suggestion, whether it is from any other customers or drivers alike. Sick pay is extremely non-existent, and breaks are so abysmal that the workers can hardly get any uninterrupted time to themselves, unless if a bus is running a few minutes early. They're only allowed a few minutes at a time. The drivers are forced to work 12 to 13 hours a week, only getting paid for 8 to 9 hours of that working day period. Part 6. My conclusion. I personally and really don't think that Stagecoach should have ever operated any services for around Inverness at all. Little wonder why Inverness has gone into decline is because of the abysmal bus service being provided. There have also been many resignations from the company, and this is all due to improvements not being made to working conditions and extreme mistreatment from their bosses, employers, and mentors. They have all been let down so severely that none of the former workers who previously worked for Stagecoach would work for this company again. The code of conduct is really not clear at all, and mentors have been granted permission to whine like entitled children at passengers, especially locals and UK-born individuals most of the time. When drivers do get their pay cut, they give all the drivers' well-earned money away to the mentor and basically putting extra money in their pocket instead of the drivers as a gesture to continue behaving as badly as possible to make them feel better about themselves. They think it is compensation or a recreation, but what it actually is that drivers basically have 80% of their pay cut due to injuries, and the mentors get all their money or get extra money, which is seriously not needed in their lives. Stagecoach really need to get out of our city and go into administration for sure. Part 7. Stagecoach are a stupid operator that needs to be booted out of Inverness and replaced by either Highland Council buses, Ember or D&E coaches. They can't keep on providing a horrendous service for passengers and disgraceful, horrendous, lousy, boufing and disgusting working conditions for drivers. They refuse to listen to anyone but themselves, and we, along with the drivers who drive the buses, are the ones to blame here. It is a horrible situation which hopefully comes to an end. We do not need to be put in prison or on house arrest along with being isolated at home because of one operator's failure to improve anything. They hate being called out on anything and are always in denial of things going horribly wrong. Other bus operators can do better for the Inverness area and the entire Highland region compared to Stagecoach's lack of understanding for communities and shocking dishonesty towards their employers and customers alike. The city has been stripped bare of their money, ripped off and being isolated for being locals and UK-born individuals. And we need a fresh start, like as soon as possible, please. The manager, David Beaton of Stagecoach North Scotland, is a hypocrite and an incompetent, traitorous fool. And he thinks every single person is a bunch of idiots. As entire lot. Part 8. Why can't the manager David Beaton of the North Scotland franchise of Stagecoach be in prison for his heinous crimes? Well, it's because of the entire company of Stagecoach right across the UK kick out the good managers and CEOs and replace them with careless fools who have no regard for anyone or livestock. Stagecoach are the worst operator ever. I would rate them a 0.5 out of 10 without a shadow or darkening of a doubt whatsoever. They need to leave Inverness and let someone else take over, so everyone can move on without any fear of Stagecoach's silly shenanigans day after day. My message is to Stagecoach: so long, idiots. We are done with the entire lot of shenanigans that you put us through every day. So for me, get lost, and we all wish you well in the dirt where you belong. P.S. Put your franchise to bed and get to hell. And I think it is a good enough message, actually, and I'm really glad I exposed Stagecoach properly, because why not? Because they need to be exposed, because Stagecoach are so horrible to their customers and drivers most of the time, and if you ever speak out against their heinous crimes, they just think you're the criminals here, and it is getting well beyond the joke now. So I'm really glad I exposed them. So yeah, So my video is now coming to an end now, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the long stand-up to Stagecoach for basically your own benefit and mine, for everyone's benefit. So for me, it's goodbye for now. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.